Hello, my friends. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. I am going to be doing a new moon in Sagittarius at 1 degree special Celtic cross reading for today for everybody. But you know what? Before I get to the cards, I do have to share something. Of course, I always have to share something, right? But today I am going to be using the Good Tarot. I have visual aids. So, I sat down in meditation and I asked to be shown something about this new moon in Sagittarius. And this is what I saw. I saw this card from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And it's the Fire Ant card. And it's not even necessarily what the card actually means that's important. It was the imagery. See these ants in the middle, and then there's all these ants surrounding. It's like one in the middle, and then there's a ring outside, and a ring outside that, and a ring outside that. Let me draw it. This is what I saw. And it was very interesting. Hold on. Come into my class, folks. So, first I saw this. This is you, right? Then I saw a group of people around you. Then I saw another ring like this. And another. And another. And another. And another. And then outside of those rings, connecting those rings, see what I'm saying? And that kind of looks like the flower of life, which is interesting if you're into sacred geometry at all, which I am. I love Metatron's cube. But that was the imagery that I saw, is this pinpoint in the center, which what I believe it means, and we're going to get the cards rolling here. Let the cards speak for themselves, but what I believe it means is people are rising up right now, and this Sagittarius new moon is a great time for this. After coming out of those eclipses, the Five of Earth just wanted to pop out. Yeah, that truly is how I'm going to speak for myself, how I felt coming out of the eclipse season, and we're still in the energy, right? It did feel like a Five of Earth, Five of Pentacles, where it was just very intense emotionally, and I feel like everything that we went through, all of the introspection that we've been doing as the collective, it's like safe. One moment. The Three of Air and the Four of Air just popped out as I was saying that. Like, we've gone through a time, literally what I was just about to say, the Three of Swords, the Three of Air, it can be a challenge. And then with the Four of Air, healing from the things that were revealed to us during those eclipses. It brings a lot out into the light. It really does. And then going within ourselves and instead of just living a life of avoidance, actually deciding to look within ourselves. My point in saying that is after we've come out of this time of Three of Swords, Four of Swords, Five of Pentacles, looking within ourselves, looking at our lives, looking at, what led us here. It's like we're starting to see, as this Sagittarius energy just trickles in, that there's hope on the horizon. It's like the warm sun coming up after a dark storm. And the imagery that I was shown with those circles and those circles and those circles surrounding more circles, it's like an interconnectedness. It's like weaving a web of interconnectedness within the collective. And within those circular groups, there are those who will rise up and stand up and be the voice within each of those smaller interconnected groups. And it's like it connects us all. And within each of those groups, there are those who are going to speak. There are those who are going to express. And then there are those who are going to listen. And then some of those who listen will express themselves. And it creates this domino effect of like expression. And the thing that Sagittarius, excuse me while I have my eyes closed. I'm just trying to focus on what I'm channeling. It's like the Sagittarius to me is like the hopeful explorer, right? The Sagittarius energy is like the beginning of a road trip across the country, right? It's like going on tour. It's like there's hope on the horizon. There's new things to be discovered. So with that said, let's give this one more shuffle and let's see what we got. Again, I'm using the Good Tarot today. Let's cut these cards and let's begin. We have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. We are coming into this time of abundance. And it's because we're banding together. Look at the Seven of Air beneath the Empress. All of these people coming together here. Okay, so let's see. The Six of Earth. We're longing for balance. That's how we're showing up as the Six of Earth. The Six of Pentacles, which is a card of balance. The scales being balanced. It's kind of like a minor arcana version of the Justice card. And I feel like we have been really going through this as a collective since Libra season. Libra being the scales. It's like it started back then. We started to observe our relationships. We started to think about, is this equal? Is this equal give and take? Is this fair? Is this just? Is this balanced? This could be within ourselves. Am I a balanced person? Looking at our lives, thinking, I could be healthier. Maybe I can do things that make me happy. Like I can have hobbies, that help me feel more balanced, etc. Let's see what's crossing us here. The Ace of Water, the Ace of Cups. This is what's kind of passing over it's kind of like it's slowly passing our periphery here. It's like, what makes us feel fulfilled? It's like it's going past us in this slow motion because the world is so busy. Everything's so busy. Everything's so fast. Everything, we got to go here. We got to go there. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to do this. We got to do that. It's like this Ace of Water here is just slowly moving past us like this. And as it's moving past, it's like kind of our life flashing before our eyes. Like what matters to us, what fulfills us, what do we care about, what do we love, what makes us happy, right? What is that pearl that I can hold on to? Or, if you think about a pearl is created through turmoil, right? So it's like through all of these things that we've been learning, with learning how to balance, learning what equal give and take really means, learning that in relationships, in work, within ourselves, balancing within ourselves, even the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. I've been doing a lot of that as well, a lot of soul searching. It can get a little bit confusing when you're trying to figure out, as this thing is passing by, it's like, it feels like you're grabbing for it, and then before you know it, it's gone. And that's why it's good for us to take a minute here with this new moon and just let's observe as it's passing by. It's like a meteor going through the sky. Like, let's observe it. In fact, let's look through the telescope, right? What is passing us by like a meteor in the sky, this Ace of Cups? What matters to me? What's really important? What makes me feel fulfilled? What makes me feel happy? Who makes me feel happy? What makes me feel balanced and happy? That's what these two cards say to me. Those are questions that I feel we're asking in the collective. What makes me feel balanced, excuse the glare, and happy here? It's like we're wrestling with that. Like these are wrestling. They're trying to figure out where everything needs to be placed, like these ornaments. Now let's take a look at what is in our foundation, in our root here. The Two of Air, the Two of Swords. An intricate dance. What I'm hearing is it's like an elaborate dance. It's an elaborate distraction. A beautiful distraction is actually what I'm hearing. A beautiful distraction. Because see how this woman is dancing this interpretive dance. And the Two of Air is the Two of Swords. It's like you come to this stalemate. You come to this fork in the road where it's like you can go this way or you can go this way. And I feel like what we've actually been discovering is maybe it's not this way or that way. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's like, I have been getting this phrase since 2018, which I had this, I'm not going to go into a big personal anecdote, but I had this situation where it was like either I was going to move with a group of people, or I was going to stay where I was. And it was like I had to choose this or I had to choose that. But what came up, and this is the phrase that came to me, is what if it's not option 1 or option 2? What if it's option 3? See, the Two of Swords, the Two of Air, it's like option 1, option 2. What do I pick? Option 1, option 2. What do I pick? Option 1, option 2. And I feel like what we're being shown right now, what we're kind of evolving slowly into, starting with ourselves here, asking those questions like, what makes me happy? What is balance? How do I have balance? How do I have harmony and balance in my life? By starting asking those questions within ourselves, kind of deliberating between those things, it then gives us the ability to be able to expand beyond ourselves into the broader collective here. With all of this interconnectedness. I don't think it's option 1 or option 2. I think it's option 3. There's something about not being able to see, which makes sense with the Two of Swords, outside of a couple of options for ourselves. And this is something that we've been grappling with for a while because it's in this like foundational core of the spread here. It's like we're just trying to figure out which road to take. It's that fork in the road. Which road do we take? Which road do we take? And I believe what the universe is showing us is that it's neither. It's like you're at that fork in the road and then a truck pulls up with like 5 people in it, right? And they're like, come on, get in. And it's like you go to Mexico or something. It's like a totally different option that was never a possibility before. And I feel like that's what's happening because it's safe now to go on adventures like that with this Sagittarius energy specifically. I feel like Sagittarius is an adventurer, is the type that would be like, okay, let's scrap these plans, let's scrap this perspective, and let's go to option 3, let's go to Mexico, sort of a thing. Where before that was not even a possibility, but because the Sagittarius energy, it lends itself to that sort of thing. Do you see what I mean? It gives us opportunities like that didn't even exist in our understanding before. And the universe is like, hey, there's more than two solutions here. There's like however many ants are here on this picture, and more and more and more. There's thousands of solutions to our problems. And that's very Empress. That's abundance. That is the universe. As we look into the stars at night, it's literally expanding before our eyes. You know? So let's see here what is in our recent past. The 10 of Earth. The 10 of Pentacles. We want to feel safe. We want to feel part of a pack. And why I'm saying that is because of this wolf here. Right? It's like the next logical step is the group. And I'm just seeing that again. And 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles, it's a family setting. You know, it's a legacy. It's a group. It's a company of people. It's a colony, right? It's like, I think we've been thinking about this for a while, and we're wanting to have this sort of 10 of Earth experience in our own ways. And I think because we're desperately, like, we're wanting stability in our lives. We're wanting to feel safe. We're wanting to feel like we're part of a pack here. We're wanting to feel like we have, you know, see these pentacles. It's like we want to be surrounded by love and community and stability and happiness. So let's see what's going on in our headspace here. The 8 of Water. The 8 of Cups. Deciding to walk away from the things that aren't the main pearl is what I'm getting. See this big pearl here? It's like this is the conglomeration. This is the unity within the self. This is piecing together all of these different little things through the years that have mattered, that still holds true. Even though you went through a lot, it's like, what do you come out with? When you're running from a burning building, what do you grab? Sort of a thing. It's like, what really matters is this big pearl. And what I'm seeing here are all, can you see that? All these little pearls inside of this treasure chest here. It's almost as if it's implying like the process, the mental process of how we make all these little pearls into this one big pearl. Like this guy, he's on a journey. He's going somewhere. He's leaving something else behind, right? That's that mental process that I feel we've all been going through. We're like, how do we take what we have and make it feel like it all matters? You know, what does matter? What makes me feel happy? What makes me feel content? You know, what do I want? It's like we're going through that mental process. Now, in the near future, we have the 7 of Earth. The 7 of Earth is all about kind of making a plan on, do we continue where we are now or do we change directions, right? It's kind of bringing this energy in again. Like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Should I go this way? Should I go that way? But what I see with this 7 of Earth, it's kind of like, see, he's looking, if you're looking down at my spread, he's looking at that 10 of Earth across the way from the past. It's like he's thought long and hard about what he wants. You know, he wants everything we talked about, that stable environment, that beautiful home, you know, literally or metaphorically, a community, right? So it's like he's looking back at that and just the warmth the warmth in here, right? It's like he's really thinking about, once again, how can I take what I already have and create this cohesive harmony in my life, this balance, this happiness, this oneness, this fulfillment. It's like he's thinking. And it's interesting that we go from the 6 of Earth, which is at the heart of our spread here. This is what we're all longing for, this harmony and balance within our lives, within ourselves, within our communities, within our homes, within our families, within our friendships, within our, work relationships, etc., etc. It's like it's going from the 6 to the 7. It's going right in order. Because where there's balance and harmony, if it starts here, if it starts at home, like the 10 of Earth here, when it starts at home, in you, when it starts within you, it's like everything else around you begins to also become harmonious with this 7 of Earth. So it's like in this future position, in the near future, by default, other things are starting to fall into place. It's kind of like with manifestation, right? It's like, say you think to yourself, this literally just happened to me, and this is just a silly example, with these rings that I'm wearing here. I was thinking to myself the other day, and it was just like a very simple passing thought. I was like, I'd like to have some rings, like what I'm wearing right now. I'd like to have some rings. Didn't look online or anything like that, just kind of thought it to myself, I'd like to have some rings. Then when I was at a store, not looking for rings, not even thinking about it, right? It's like all of a sudden these rings appeared, and I was like, I'm going to buy those. And that's a very simple example. It's like it just appears. Like you're not really thinking all that deeply about, I'm going to build this 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to build a community. I'm going to build my life in a certain way or anything like that. It's more just kind of getting your own life in balance. And it's like it starts to produce, it starts to attract, it starts to draw to you more of this balance, more of this harmony, and then at that point, when we're at the 7, because we went from the 6 to the 7, now we can start looking at that 10. He's looking back at the 6, which is in the middle of our spread, and he's looking through the 6 all the way over to the 10 here. Because the goal seems to be the 10. Because the 10 of Pentacles, it truly is, at least to me, in my perspective of the tarot, it's like it really is ultimate happiness and stability, and like what it's building something that lasts throughout your life and then possibly goes beyond you if it's really solid. And I feel like that is the dream, right? People talk about like the American dream. And if you're not from America, let's just call it the dream, right? It's like everybody wants the dream. That's the 10 of Pentacles, in my opinion, of course. And it's like he's looking at the dream, right? And of course, the dream always involves more than just us. But my point so far is that it has to start with just us in the center here with the 6 of Earth. And when we do that, as we walk away from things that no longer serve us, as we figure out what to take with us, what to kind of put together to make this one big pearl, what we kind of bring with us along the journey, once we do all that, and that's what we've been working on, everything suddenly just starts to, like a magnet, sort of begin to come together. It's like all of a sudden, it's like links, like things just begin linking together and you don't even know how it's happening. It's like we talked about with manifestation. It just comes into your path. Things just start to fall into place, that harmony, that balance. That's a great place to be in. It's like this 7 of Earth, what I'm seeing this as is more of a magnet than anything else. It's like you're just putting the magnet out, and it's like these other things are just drawn in. And it's not necessarily that you want to keep everything. That's why we have the 8 of water here. It's like you want to go through and make sure that everything you've attracted is like what you want. And it's kind of like you throw some things back and you keep some things and you keep building with it in order to get to that 10 of Pentacles. It's like you're building the 10 of Pentacles here. Okay. Really, you're building the Empress. You know what I'm saying? The Empress, I feel like the Empress can build a 10 of Pentacles here. She can build a 10 of Pentacles there. It's like somebody who has multiple businesses, or, you know, somebody who has multiple properties, or even has like children or friends, or, you know, an abundance of anything. Not just money. Like, since the Empress is here, it shows me that it's bigger than just the 10 of Pentacles. The Empress builds the 10 of Pentacles, I would say, with ease. It's like, so if her entire business collapsed, she could build another one. If she lost her millions here, it's like, okay, she's just going to start over again. And, you know, we'll see her in 2 years and she'll be back here again. That's the Empress. That's what the universe is trying to say. It's endless. It's abundant. You don't have to worry that there's scarcity, because there's always enough. There's always going to be this balance. And once we begin to believe that and truly understand that, because we're going through it with our own experience, we're going through the process of, you know, deliberation and figuring out how to balance our own lives. By going through all of that, it's revealing to us that this was here the whole time, this Empress energy, this abundance, this free flowing. It's like the waters that flow. We don't have to do anything to create this world. We were just born into it. That's the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. It's just here. It's just here. The water is just, it's plentiful. And it's for everybody. No matter where you come from, no matter who you are, it's for everybody. The Empress doesn't discriminate. It's just an energy of abundance that's here for everybody. That's what I'm seeing. So, how we're showing up here is the Page of Fire. We're ready for something more with the Page of Fire. We're ready to begin to take those little steps. And look, we have this moon here. These steps that kind of come into our intuitive space. It's like we're getting these intuitive hits, these understandings, these building blocks, right? This understanding with the Page of Fire. This is like a demonstration of, it's like you have this wise ancient beast with you here, this tiger, that's guiding your pathway. Like we talked about with the Sagittarius energy, it's like this Page of Fire. It is like a Sagittarius energy. It's like just that childlikeness. Like, hey, yeah, you know, I'll go to Mexico. That sounds like a great thing to do, right? It's like you only had 2 options, but the Page of Fire is like, hey, I'm gonna go find 10 more, and I'm just gonna go for it. It's like having hope again, that things can be different, that things can change, that we have the ability to transform our situations, that we have the ability to look at things, to understand things about ourselves and about the world, to go on this adventure with the Page of Fire. It is a new adventure for many of us. This may be the first time we've ever truly thought how we can add up, you know, all of these different things. What is the summation of our lives? What have we experienced so far? What makes us happy? What doesn't make us happy? And what does that come out to? It's that interconnectedness. It's like inside of the self, all of these links are happening, right? All of this is going on inside of us. That begins to expand outside of us, because that's happening within many of us. So it's happening in the one. Therefore, it's going to begin to expand, and those links will become, the links that began within us will then begin to reach outside of us just naturally. and we'll connect with the things that we're attracting, the things that we're creating with other people, the things that we are expressing into the world. It's like it's just going to start to make sense. It's all going to fit together. The pieces of the puzzle will come together just naturally because it's just that principle of balance. It's like the Fibonacci sequence, right? It's like sacred geometry. It just works. It just comes together. It's the Ace of Cups, it just keeps filling and filling and filling. It's like a flowing stream here. This is the stream. This is the stream. So what do we have in our environment? The 9 of Air. Yeah, everybody's freaking out. Right? 9 of Swords. A lot of people are scared right now. A lot of people are fearing lack, when in reality we have the Empress, right? All these voices are surrounding us on the news, in our friend groups, at work, our families. It's like, blah, 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 blah. What are you thinking? What are you doing? Why are you like this? What, blah, 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 blah. And she's just standing there. See, she's trying to balance. 6 of Earth. She's learning to balance. She's learning to balance. Right? Our environment is producing this balance in us. It's kind of like the chicken or the egg, right? I had this weird dream that I woke up from this morning, and the last thing that I remember was I was just handed an egg, and that was the end of the dream. Somebody, and it looked like an angel in the dream, kind of like this, just handed me an egg. And it was full of possibilities, right? Our environment is filled with fear in the world today, but it's kind of like what forms a pearl is the 9 of Swords. It kind of, necessity is the mother of invention sort of a thing. It kind of forces us into a corner. Don't put baby in a corner. It kind of forces us, or it forces our system to create this pearl, because under pressure, a diamond is formed as well. You know, it's like this is what's causing everything to come into even more alignment, is because of the pressure cooker of what we're in. The pressure, the fear surrounding us. It's making us stronger. You know, it's making us, it's causing us to search even more for this abundance that we know exists, and we're desperately grasping for it, right? And this agitation from our surrounding environment causes us to look for it even more. It causes us to devise a plan with the 7 of Earth to continue to just recalibrate and think about things, and think about what we need to leave behind, and what we need to embrace, and which way we need to go, and what we really want, and what really causes us to be balanced here with the 6 of Earth. What is in our hopes and fears? Love. Isn't that potent? Isn't that poetic? The choice, right? This is the Lover's card. Our hope and our fear is this choice. Which way do I go? See, this is a choice in the 3D reality. This is a choice of the mind. This is a divine choice, the Lover's card. This is like, should I work at this place or should I work at this place? Should I move or should I stay? Should I marry this person or should I not? You know what I mean? It's like those are those choices of the 2 of Air. This card is like, this card is more, well, it's more Sagittarius. It's more the philosophical, like, well, what is love actually? Anyways, what is a career? Are our careers even going to be a thing in 30 years? What will the world look like in 30 years from now is what I feel like this card is more saying. It's like it started off here. It started off, should I quit this job? Should I change my career? And it turned into, what even is a career? With this Sagittarius energy. It's like it evolved into something higher. The choices became more profound. As this process began, finding the answers to this question, what makes me happy, what makes me feel balanced, what's really important to me, it's like it crept up on us. It's like we didn't even realize what was happening, and now here we are. And it's like we're questioning, like, what is life? What is my purpose? It's not about should I go right or should I go left. It's more about what is anything, right? And that is our hope and our fear that we're asking these questions. But we're being forced to ask them because our environment is becoming increasingly more agitated and fearful. So we're looking for this safety. See how she's sleeping on the lion. She's sleeping in the fear. She's balanced inside of the fear. She's sleeping with the fear. Let's just say it that way. She's literally sleeping with the fear. This animal could just tear her apart. This is like the strength card, in a sense. It could literally destroy her, and yet she's just resting with it. She's resting with what would completely freak everybody else out. It's like the universe is like shaping us and transforming us, and I would dare say training us. So while everything else around us is completely freaking out, we're able to remain balanced because we already began this work here. It's gone beyond us. It's become a bigger mission. It's gone out into the world. What started as something within us has now become much bigger, where we're beginning to face fear itself, right? We're literally able to face like the fear of what the philosophers spoke about all of these years, what Plato postulated. These are the things that Sagittarius brings about. And it's this hope, see? It's like somebody would say, well, don't even get near that line. It's going to maul your face off, man. And yet Sagittarius says, but why? Why couldn't I just befriend the fear? Befriend the lion? It's like Sagittarius is courageous and also kind of beautifully naive that there actually is hope left in the world with this Page of Fire. There's actually some hope here. Everybody is pretty much saying, yeah, we're screwed, everything's over, pretty much just like bury your head in the sand and hope for the best. We're screwed. It's like Sagittarius, this new moon is here to say, hey, is there anybody here who's like ready to look fear in the eye and befriend it? And finally, this is our outcome. The moon. The moon. Facing that fear. Literally. It's like we did it. I feel like this is just as a confirmation saying it's possible. She's sleeping with the lion. We're balanced when everybody else around us is afraid. Working on ourselves, finding the answers to what makes us really happy here, walking away from the things that have been toxic and no longer serve us, looking at how we can build this stable, balanced life for ourselves with the 7 and 10 of Pentacles here, deliberating between what roads to take, finding out that it's actually not about option 1 or option 2. It's actually about what is, possible here, what's really possible, the abundance that exists in the world, with the Empress here looking fear in the eye and befriending it and laying down with the lions, and then coming out the other side of the moon. Or this could be the process itself that is our outcome, that it's a continuing process, which is probably more accurate. But this is like showing that it's even possible to look fear in the eye, to walk through the darkness of the moon, and to like sit with the moon. Just like this woman is sleeping with the lion, it's like now this woman is she's taking the power of the moon. She's like dropping it down onto the earth. It's like now that she's gone through this divine doorway between these two posts, it's like we were walking through this with the universe, understanding that it's not just about the mundane world of like, what should I do here? What should I do there? It's so much bigger. It's like the grand scheme of things. Right? And it's like sitting with those fears within the moon, within our emotions, within our intuition, within our hearts, and being like, hey, I can make magic with what I've learned here. I can pour this stardust, this moon dust down onto the earth and express that in the earth. And that just takes us back to the start. With that interconnectedness, it's like there will be those people who rise up within each group, connecting, creating, right? It's like they're everywhere, they're sprouting up everywhere, and it's creating this sort of interconnectedness. Like, even if we're not fully aware that this is what's happening, it's like we're looking at fear in the face, and we're befriending it. We're working with the energy. We're learning to be balanced in times of trouble. And as we are doing this, it's like now we're able to harness that and release it onto the earth, which is this. Those who are rising up to speak about it, to tell about it, to help others, to do this very thing, to look fear in the face and to realize that we can actually use this to our advantage, right? Much love, my friends. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. It's great to have you. Just so you know, I do readings every day over on my TikTok at the Metamystic. So if you want to get those, you can head on over to TikTok. You can also get me on Instagram at honeybeemusic. B is spelled B33. You can also buy a personal reading from me over on my Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/themetamystic. Much love, my friends, and happy new moon in Sagittarius. Until next time, take care.